Okay, so let's make it quick. Real Housewives of Atlanta, you have Ralph talking about it's a possibility, talking about how her song could be on Drew's song could be on a tiny desk. Sir, no. Drew is having this meeting for the music director with Rage, and they weren't supposed to be casting Ralph in the video because his body's not necessarily the person to cast in the video, but they double booked the person that was supposed to be in the video, and Ralph was not happy that he wasn't going to be in the video. He should be front and center because he's the husband. Now that Rage puts Ralph in the video, and so he's happy with this, and Drew's like, for the sake of our marriage, he should be there. And I'm just like, anyway, Sonia and Sheree go to chirotherapy, which I guess is to be cold. Sonia and Sheree were a little annoyed that everyone decided to leave even after the big fight. They felt that they shouldn't have left just because Candy got into it. Um, Sheree was upset that Candy made a comment about her clothing, She by Sheree, and it not being as accessible for purchase. However, she's excited that Rihanna complimented her on it, so she was excited about that. So Sheree made a comment. Sheree's going to be having a So Gucci party, or it's a lunch, a brunch. I loved her her invite. I thought it was really funny. But I am with Candy when she was talking about it, that it sounded like Candy was like, I am like T.I. If you see me in the street, then you don't know me. I was like, okay, that's funny. Anyway, that's what happened at Candy and Sonia's lunch. Now, I listened to Carlos King, and me and Carlos are going to have to disagree. Candy made a comment that because of how her brother died when she was 15, and she had to just kind of push through her brother dying, and you had things to do, you have to keep pressing. So I'm the encouraging friend. So I don't think that it's the fact that she lacks emotion. I just don't think that she understands how to deal. I think that it's the issue where she doesn't understand how to deal with other people's emotions. And like, I'm one of those people so I'm team Candy on this. I am one of those people that do not know how to deal when other people's emotions are flying high. I'm the one who wants to be like, okay, how can we work through this? Because I don't understand yet. And I am also the encouraging friend too. So the motivational friend. So Candy's talking about she's being sentimental. Carlos is saying, that's not true. You shouldn't be this way, and blah, 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 blah. You can't tell people how to be. Like, you can't tell people how to be. And she needs to do better if she wants to keep long-term friends, and she has yes people. I don't think any of that, all her friends are yes people. And I think that when you're busy as a whole, Carlos doesn't like Candy. So he claims that he does like Candy, but we know that there's friction, and you don't want to deal with the friction because you were trying to turn her whole life into a TV channel, into a TV movie without her permission. So I don't appreciate how he's trying to call her out, saying she's not a good friend and you need to be a better friend. I don't think that that's appropriate. I think that we should understand who people are and respect who people are. Marlo and Courtney at this dinner talking about she wants to thank her again for helping her get in touch with somebody about her record. Ma'am, you could have done this yourself. You have all this money. You could have called a lawyer. Instead of spending all this money on Fendi and Gucci, how about you call a lawyer? I just cannot. And then Courtney's asked her, like, if you have all this angst with Candy, why couldn't you tell her before? And she was like, well, I've never seen her before. Didn't you film all last year and the year before? This has been 3 years. You've seen her enough to have something to say. Get out my face. I can't with Marlo. Um, Kenya goes to the doctor. She's talking about her hormones. I need to have my hormones assessed for sure. Anyway, she wants to have another baby. And then she's having a discussion that she had these embryos set up with her ex-husband, and the embryos go back to her. And she wants to have another baby. Girl, no. Sheree, well, you better get the dog. You got a dog. She could play with her dog and she can go do housemates and playmates. Girl, you are not having another baby. Marlo's commenting. Okay, so the Sheree luncheon. Candy's like, I don't want Marlo to sit next to me. Um, and Marlo's commenting on the fashion. I don't like Marlo. Kenya's laughing because she's like, I have Jesus on the main line. Do we need to call him? Courtney and Candy squashed their beef. They're like, the argument was silly. Yes, it was. Sonia and Kenya, Kenya's like, I don't really trust you, but we can build on our trust slowly, which I thought was fine. Candy and Marlo. Marlo says if they're at peace. Kenya's like, you cannot be at peace when you're evil. See, people are talking about how Candy is the lapdog. Candy has all these people um speaking for her. Here's the problem. Kenya doesn't like her because of what just happened in Birmingham. And when you had you banging on the door and your daughter's here. Kenya has her own personal beef with Marlo. And she's over Marlo. She doesn't need to be speaking up on the behalf of Candy. She don't like her. And then so when she's like, look, your brand is to sleep with people for bags. She should be sleeping with people for an eternity if we're gonna be sleeping with people. Anyway, that's not the point. Marlo blames Drew, and poor Drew is like, how did I get in this? So Drew's talking and Kenya's talking, and Sheree's like, can we please not have Drew and Kenya talk so Candy can talk and Marlo can talk? Marlo leaves saying that Kenya is disrespectful. Okay. So she comes back and she explains her position with Candy, and Candy's like, I'm not dealing with it. Here's the problem that I have. This is why I'm team Candy on this one. You Marlo is switching words every time she talks about this. So you want some flowers. Candy is clearly had it up to beyond here because she's like, screw you and the flowers. Right. And I'm with Marlo. I'm with Candy on this one. You expected Candy to do what? Call and send flowers to people that she does not know. So let me be mad at Candy because she didn't call and send flowers to my family because um my uncle died. I'm a fan. I've never ate there. But if I had ate there, I ate there, so why not? Come on, you sound ridiculous. And so Candy is overprotective of her business as she should, overprotective of her brand as she should. Let me put this in perspective, Sonia, as you're trying to mitigate this. There are some people who you ran with when you were in the Olympics who has now, we know, has tested positive for enhancement drugs. If someone were to put out, if one of these women were to say, oh, you got your gold medals, is it so just like such and such who was on your team who got tested for enhancements? you would be upset. Because even though they're not claiming that you were doing the enhancement drugs, right? But the fact that there are some people on the team that did enhancement drugs, it is the illusion of your proximity of people who did enhancement drugs. You would be upset, and rightfully so. So to say that she should not be upset when no, she's not at fault for the boy getting shot, but there is she's drawing a correlation, and that is the problem that people are having, and you're drawing it way too close. And we can do this, and we can draw correlations and ruin somebody's brand, and make and that and you, Sonia, know that that correlation can absolutely ruin your brand. It can ruin your relationship with you going on television with and doing all of these events and hosting that you do. It can ruin your Nike contract. So spare me on, what you're trying to say, that it's not that serious. It is that serious because it's her company. It's her brand that's on the line. That being said, I am excited that Candy is like, we're moving on from this to she by she.